Walking with Dinosaurs 2025 is the second time in the last 2 years I've had a beloved franchise from my childhood butchered by a new installment. If you're not familiar, in 1999 the BBC released Walking with Dinosaurs, a miniseries that aimed to recreate the lives of dinosaurs through CGI and the latest science at the time. It was a huge success that spawned off a few other installments in the following years, and was, more importantly, my childhood. So when I heard they were remaking it to celebrate the series' 25th anniversary, I was stoked. Then it came out and I was immensely disappointed. Even disregarding Prehistoric Planet, which absolutely spoiled me with the amazing CGI and narration by David Attenborough, my beloved, this has almost nothing in common with the original Walking with Dinosaurs and is, in my opinion, inferior in every way that matters outside of the visuals. The CGI obviously looks better compared to 25 years ago, but by today's standards, okay, it doesn't look bad necessarily, but there's definitely some noticeable flaws. The dinosaur models themselves look fine, and they're definitely more scientifically accurate than whatever the hell is going on here, but the compositing is extremely hit or miss, and they rarely ever look like they're actually there in the environment. Now, again, Prehistoric Planet definitely spoiled me with what I would argue to be the best looking dinosaurs in any mainstream show or movie, so I don't feel like it's fair to compare it to this show. However, I do think it's fair to compare it to previous installments in the Walking With series. I recently went back and rewatched Walking with Monsters, and I'm being completely honest, it has better looking CGI on average. It released 20 years ago, that is inexcusable. The way the dinosaurs are portrayed also rubs me the wrong way. It feels way too dramatized to the point of really breaking my immersion. Like, why is this T-Rex slowly walking up to this defenseless baby Triceratops and hissing at it instead of just killing and eating it? Why is this baby Pachyrhinosaurus leaving the safety of its herd in the middle of the night? Why is this massive herd of Pachyrhinosaurus panicking and dispersing when the Gorgosaurus show up instead of at least trying to defend themselves? Why is this Utah raptor immediately trying to kill a Gastonia after killing a different one literally 10 seconds earlier? That is not how real living animals would behave. It feels like watching a really bad horror movie where you're just constantly going, no, don't do that, you fucking idiot, you're going to die, and that is not how a nature documentary is supposed to make you feel. On top of that, the number of unique species they show is disappointingly small. I know 3D models are expensive and this show definitely didn't have enough budget, but come on. Edmontosaurus appears in 3 episodes out of 6. The Gorgosaurus is just a reskinned Albertosaurus. All of the pterosaurs look the exact same, and some of the species only show up for like 30 seconds, so I don't think I can really count them. But don't you worry, you won't have to look at the shoddy CGI for long, because this show makes extremely frequent and jarring cuts to a bunch of paleontologists telling the audience stuff they already know. Obviously, I have nothing against the paleontologists themselves, but these scenes are very blatantly just there to pad out the runtime, and at points it legit feels like we spend more time with the paleontologists than the dinosaurs in this dinosaur documentary. At least Prehistoric Planet had the decency to put its equivalent to these scenes at the end of the episodes. Walking with Dinosaurs 2025 has none of the sauce the original had. The music and cinematography are way more generic and forgettable. They replaced Kenneth Branagh as the narrator, and while the new guy does a fine job, he feels a lot quieter and less confident in his deliveries. Doesn't help that the writing is dog shit and treats the audience like idiots who have no idea what's going on. But above all, this series is just boring. It doesn't even have the decency to be memorably bad. I will forget basically everything that happened in this show. I don't know how they managed that, but by God, they pulled it off. Congratulations, you're a failure. In conclusion, this is an unrelated dinosaur documentary that the BBC slapped the Walking with Dinosaurs name onto to get more views, and I hate it. I would have given it like a 5 out of 10 if it was named something else, but the fact that it's fumbling the name and legacy of a show I hold very near and dear to my heart is enough for me to bump it down to a 3 out of 10. If you're dead set on watching this, you can just watch episode 2 with the Spinosaurus and call it there. That one was alright. Otherwise, just watch Prehistoric Planet instead. Okay, rant over. Let me know if you want to see more short reviews like this from me in the future. Otherwise, cheers everyone.